So a common question I've been getting lately is about getting cookies to work in all these different scenarios where they are not working. So I want to give you guys some tips on how you can debug your problems with cookies so you can get them working. So to start off with, we are going to talk about how you can actually view if a cookie is in your browser, because that is the most important step, because once a cookie is stored in your browser, it's going to be sent with requests. So you saw me just right click and inspect in Chrome, and now we're going to go to the application tab. So this is where you can see if a cookie is being stored. In this case, I do not have a cookie stored, which is actually kind of weird. I thought I was logged in. There we go. So you may have to refresh or click here to refresh to see if the cookie is there. I recommend doing this after you log in or do an event that you expect to be logged in as, or have a cookie be in your browser. And so this is you can verify if the cookie actually ever gets set. So this is an important thing to know whether it is or not. So once it's in your browser, it's going to be sending it to the server on every request to that server. In this case, server.codeponder.com for me. So you click on this cookies and then your domain right here, and you can see that. So what do you do if this does not show up, if you're not getting a cookie set? So this is where I actually recommend switching to Firefox to double check this next thing, because for whatever reason, Chrome has not been showing this lately for me. Alright, so I want to log in as this user, and this is the event for me that triggers a cookie being set. So whatever event you use, whether it's logging in to get a cookie back, you're going to want to go to the network tab in Firefox and view this request being fired. So here I'm going to log in with this guy right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the request. I have it filtered by GraphQL because I'm using GraphQL, but you can search for the request where you're sending data to the server. Okay, and what I want you to do is go down to the response headers, which show up right here. And I want you to look for this one called setcookie. All right, so this is the header that the server will respond with if a cookie, that way a cookie gets set. So I want you to check this header and see if it's there, because if it's not there, that is a problem. And so there could be a number of things causing this problem, and then we'll get to that next. But that is an important one to check on. If the setcookie header is not there, then the cookie is not going to be set in your browser. Okay, so what happens if this is not being set or you're not seeing this at all? First, double check your application and make sure you're actually sending a cookie when logging in. Now, if you're sending a cookie and you're not seeing this header and you're not seeing it set, what could be the problem? Well, the first thing you need to do is whenever you're making a request from your JavaScript on your front end, make sure you have credentials set to include. All right, so I'm using Apollo. This is GraphQL. This is how you do it with an HTTP link. You set credentials to include. Or if you're using Fetch, same thing. You need to set credentials to include. And then on the server side, what you need to do is I'm using CORS, and I have to set credentials to true. All right, these are my CORS options that I pass to CORS middleware for Express. Make sure you have that set to true. Next thing, if you're in production, well, I have this set really production or not production, but this is really something that's important for production, is if you're using something like Heroku or you have a reverse proxy that's set up like Nginx in front of your application, you need to set trust proxy to 1, or if you have more than one proxy, you need to set the number of proxies you have sitting in front. So add this. This is an Express command. I'm not sure what it is for other web frameworks, but you're going to need that with Express if you want to make sure the cookies are being sent and requested okay, I believe. So that's another important one if you are sitting behind a proxy, and that happens if you're using Heroku or some different setups. So make sure to add that. And then lastly, the last thing you want to look for is this secure. So this is something that is an option that you set on the cookie when you create it or send it to the front end. So secure means that it only works in HTTPS. Okay? So if you are using this and you didn't deploy to HTTPS, your server and client, then you do not want to set secure to true because it's not going to work. So that's just something to note. So if you're debugging stuff, you may want to turn secure to false at first, and then once you get things narrowed down and get it working, set it back to true and see if that's the thing that's causing it. So that's another thing that can trip people up. And then, of course, you want to turn that off when you're in development mode. So I usually have a flag like this that says if we're in production, turn it to true. All right, so those are those 3 things, and those are the main problems I see when you are sending cookies to the browser or sending cookies from the server to the browser and back and forth, those settings will cause problems if you don't have them. The other thing to mention is if you don't have credentials set to include, the cookie will not be set. And so this is something if you use, for example, GraphQL Playground or say Postman, sometimes you have credentials set to omit by default. So this is something where if you hit the cog in GraphQL Playground, go to settings, you put this to include, and now cookies will be set when you make requests for this, or at least sent back is better wording. So yeah, so those are the main things. Make sure you have credentials set to true, check secure, and also the proxy. Now the next thing that I want to go through is actually a big breakthrough that I had today. So this is the last thing that I want to talk about. Actually, no, there's one thing I want to talk about beforehand. And I'm going to do like a little write-up of this. So if you want to see the written version of this, you can see the description below. I'll put that there. The last part that also could be going wrong with this is the browser identifies your cookie as a third-party cookie. So this can sometimes happen when you are using like Heroku and Netlify and you have two different domains, and the browser sometimes doesn't know that is, well, it identifies it as a third-party cookie and gets rid of it. So that's something to note. The way you get around this is by using a custom domain and putting your basically your server and your front end or your front end server, those two things. So putting a custom domain on Netlify and on Heroku or whatever you're using. So what does that look like in practice? Well, so for example here I have www.codeponder.com as my website and my server is at server.codeponder.com. So I'm just using two subdomains on the custom domain codeponder.com. And so that can get around you custom domain or third-party cookie problems. Okay, so this is the last thing that I kind of just discovered today. It has to do with the domain flag with cookies. So really, this has to do with people refreshing. Before I look at the diagram, is you refresh and you notice the cookie disappears. This is the problem. If you've seen that problem, a lot of people have been asking me about that recently. I just found the solution for this. So why does the cookie disappear? So before we can explain why it's disappearing and how to fix it, we have to understand a wee bit about how cookies work. So basically when I'm this dude over here, I have Chrome up, I send a request to the server sends me the setcookie command back, and then the cookie's stored in my browser. And then every request I make, the cookie is sent to the server automatically, right? So what happens when we introduce server-side rendering? And by the way, this is, from what I've seen, only has been happening with server-side rendering stuff like Next.js. So if you're not doing that, using Gatsby or using Create React App, you're probably fine, and this is probably not a problem you have. But for you Next.js as server-side rendering guys, this is what's happening. So you make a login request, the cookie's being stored on your browser, right? And then what happens is you go to www.codeponder.com or whatever your website is, and the cookie's not being sent to this server. And then this server-side renders your page by making a request to api.codeponder.com, and then the cookie does not show up here because the cookie was stored for api.codeponder.com, right? So we stored the cookie for this domain or the subdomain. So what is happening is the cookie is not being sent here, and the cookie is not being sent here because the server-side rendering request is being sent to this server over here, sending you a request back, and all of the stuff is happening here. So we are not making a request on the browser to the api.codeponder.com, and so the cookie's not being sent. And so that's what's happening. So how can we actually fix this and get this working? So it's basically a twofold thing. First off, you need to be able to send your cookie to here. That way this can then read the cookie and send it here. So first, how do we get the cookie so we can send the cookie to both here and send the cookie to both there as well? Well, if we go back to our code real quick, and where we are creating our cookie, there's an option that we can use, let's put a comma here, called domain. And in the domain, we can specify the domain we want it to work for. And if we do a dot out front, and then we can say codeponder.com, this is going to work for all subdomains. So now this cookie is going to be automatically sent to www.codeponder.com, and it also is going to be sent when you make requests to api.codeponder.com. So now the cookie is being sent to both of them. The next step is in your Next.js code is to take that cookie and actually make the request when stuff is being server-side rendered over here. So what does that look like? I don't have a super clear example of this, but it looks something like this. So there's kind of a Next.js example of this, but it isn't great. I really need to do a separate video that makes this super clear, but it looks something like this. So this is Apollo code, where basically I'm calling this function called getToken, and then I'm passing it as a header, this token as a header. And I could actually pass this as a cookie. I'm sending it as an authorization header, but I could send it as a cookie. And then what is this getToken coming from? Basically what the getToken is from, and actually this is one over, delete this, is it is parsing the cookies. And this note, this is happening all on this guy right here. So it's parsing the cookies that it got from the browser. In this case, it's going to read the request, parse the cookies from it. And then if we come down here, this is where I'm actually calling parse cookies, parses the request, and then I called my cookie QID, but you can call it whatever you want. And basically I'm passing that and sending it as a header. So the gist of it is parsing the headers that it gets from this request and then sending the cookie here. And so those are the two steps you need. If you followed some of my Next.js stuff, you will have gotten that set up. But this part I had just discovered today, that I need to set the domain to this, to your custom domain, and put a dot in front. And that'll make sure the cookie works in both places. And if you refresh your browser and the cookie's not there, that's how you can fix it. Okay, yeah, those are the main things that I've seen people run into. Let me know if there are any other cookie problems you have, and I'll add it to the document of some debugging tips I might have for that. But I hope that was helpful.